Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the .NET training. First let's discuss about the MindMajix. MindMajix has a 10 years experience trainers. It's a reputed corporate around the globe, and it has 9 plus years serving as a e-learning industry, and it has around 450,000 professionals got trained or certified. It's a industry-ready active certification-based curriculum, and 500 plus technologies has been delivered online every day. Corporate training as in self-paced training. About me, I work as a technical trainer as a leading MNC from 15 years experience in both software and development. I have been training in the Microsoft since 2004. I have vast experience in the development training in .NET product with the latest technologies. My training is a self-paced, includes interactive tutorials, questionnaire, case studies, self-assessment, and other features that easily assimilate to the individual learning style. So it is going to be then a person-to-person interaction where how the person is going to learn the concepts based upon that, the concepts are going to get teached to them. So today's agenda is nothing but we are going to discuss about the small topics like introduction to .NET framework, what is C Sharp, what is ASP.NET, what is ADO.NET, and we'll discuss about the project which is going to be discussed in the curriculum. So as you know that .NET framework has been evolved from the year 2002, and it has gone with the many other different stages like .NET Framework 1.0 to the latest .NET 5.0 has been released in the market. So initially the .NET framework is going to work only on the Windows operating system. So now they have made it as an open source where anyone can contribute into it. And the vast expansion has been done from the Windows to Linux and Mac OS operating systems. The C Sharp also started from year 2000, but afterwards, what happened is that they have made this one as an open source. So now, any new features or anything, if you want to contribute, you can contribute to the C Sharp. Previously, it is going to be limited for only the Windows operating system. So, as the .NET framework has been made it as an open source in the same manner, they have made C Sharp also as an open source. ASP.NET is in a web technology. Whenever you want to develop in a web applications, you are going to use the ASP.NET. So ASP.NET started with the same initially with the in year 2002, but it has been evolved into many stages like ASP.NET 1.0, ASP.NET 2.0, like this many has been developed. And inside the ASP.NET, we got like a MVC 1, 2, 3, 4, and after that we have come with the .NET Core, so which is latest one where you are going to design your web applications, where that is also is going to work for the operating system independent, where it can be done from the for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows operating system. ADO.NET is the first technology, I can say that, because whenever you work with the Microsoft technologies in .NET, the ADO.NET is the first one where you are going to connect to the database and retrieve the data, update, insert. All the CRUD operations are going to be done here. But here, what is happening is that ADO.NET is going to be the first initial way, how to connect to the database and how to retrieve the data and how you are going to display onto the pages are going to be told in the ADO.NET. So ADO.NET itself is not going to connect only not only for the SQL Server, but you can connect with Oracle, Sybase, SAP, etc. Different databases you can connect with. So in this course content, we are also going to discuss about the project. So how you are going to work, how do you are going to work with the project in the real-time environment, and how you are going to do, how you get a requirement, how you are going to convert that one into your design, business logic, data layer, and in your SQL Server, how you are going to do all those information we are going to discuss in this particular project. So this is going to be a stepping stone for you to start your work in the in your company. So apart from this course curriculum, apart from C Sharp and ASP.NET and ADO.NET, there are many other concepts in the .NET. Like we are going to have the .NET fundamental, C Sharp fundamental, SQL Server, web services, JavaScript, jQuery, LinkU, Entity Framework, MVC, Web API, WCF, source control deployment, practice test, and interviews. There are many other things we are going to have in this. So whenever you go for an advanced version of learning of a full stack .NET developer, at the time you can go with all these things, WCF, LinkU, and all these things, entity framework, all these things you can learn at that particular point of those things. And source control, like we are going to have the TFS, and is the main source for the .NET from the Microsoft. We are going to use. Okay, previously it is going to call as a VSS, we use sources. Now they are renamed it as an TFS. And we are going to have also going to be explained about any. We are going to give some practice tests for you to practice, like a few small examples. You can start working on it, and we'll be training for you on different interview questions. What they are going to ask you in the interview. So in this .NET training, the total duration of .NET is going to be 50 hours, and the course includes the interactive tutorials. We are going to have a live video recordings. We are going to provide to you, and we are going to have the different types of questionnaires, case studies, and we also include the self-assessment. How the candidate is going to, based upon this assessment, you can find out to what extent you have learned the .NET. So what is .NET training in the market? So you have a lot of job opportunities in the market. You can find a small company of having a 5 members team also. You can find a .NET project there. So that is very vast number of jobs are available in the .NET. And it is very easy to learn, like how you are going to have the C, C++, Core Java, how you are going to learn in the same under the C Sharp, ASP.NET, you can learn very much easily. So Microsoft has made this one as an open source. There are lot many new things are going to be added up to this. So based upon our requirement, we can search in the Google and we can implement it out. So there are many different. I have different certification like the MCP, MCAD, MCPT. These are the different certifications were done by myself. And if you want to do these certifications also, will help you on this to do the certifications. So there are many certifications will be in the C Sharp, ASP.NET, MVC, a .NET Core, Azure. The most nowadays most used certificate, or I can say very hot certificate, is like a Microsoft Azure certificate. Nowadays, most of the people are asking for the Azure certification. So this is whenever after completing of the course, we will provide you the this kind of certification. You can use this one for your future. In this .NET training, we are going to discuss about C Sharp introduction, and we are going to discuss about the OOPS, that is nothing but the object-oriented programming. Hmm? And we also discuss about the C Sharp advanced concepts like assemblies, reflection, threading, etc., etc. And ASP.NET Basics, how an OOP you are going to have, how you are going to have the connections between request and response, how the HTTP protocol is going to work, how your IAS is going to work. All these basics we are going to discuss um, in our ASP.NET Basics. And in the ASP.NET Advanced Concepts, we are going to have how the um, session management is going to be implemented, and how the HTTP handlers, and how the caching, different concepts which is related to the web.config file, like different concepts we are going to discuss in the ASP.NET Advanced Concept. ADO.NET purely interacts with the database, how you are going to connect with the database, and how you are going to retrieve the data. All those information we are going to discuss in the ASP.NET, sorry, ADO.NET. So, and it is not only for the only SQL Server database connection. You can also connect to the different databases like Oracle, Sybase, SAP, mm, and MySQL. If you have any other thing in any other database, if you want to connect, you can also connect to that particular database here. In this project, we are going to discuss about how do you connect with the two-tier architecture, three-tier architecture, and we are going to discuss about the entire architecture. Two-tier architecture is nothing but so whatever the UI you are going to see of the form, the in the CS file, you are going to write your entire code and you are going to implement. So whenever you go with the three-tier architecture, what you're going to do, the all the business logic is going to be the separate, and the UI layer is going to be the separate, and the data layer is going to be the separate. So whenever you are going to work with the entire architecture, you are going to have the UI layer, and you are going to have a service, and inside the service you are going to have a business logic, and after that you are going to have a separate data layer. So this is for the entire architecture. So whenever you want to set up for a .NET training, so minimum system requirements like you need to have the Windows 10 version, 1.8 gigahertz more processor, a minimum 4 GB RAM, and a minimum 100 GB hard disk. And the .NET Visual Studio software can be downloaded free community edition from the internet, and you can use for it. So the community edition is a free version, and based upon your requirement, you can download and you can install it. Additional course resources information you can find in this particular link, where this is a vast Microsoft provided source where you can go and you can check it out. So in the whenever you go for an interview, there are some questions like what is .NET Framework, what is CLR, what is encapsulation, what is exception handling, what is an assembly, what is the page life cycle of an ASP.NET, what is the session management. These are some sample questions we are going to have. So whenever you go for any doubts regarding the subject, course, anything, you can contact with the MindMajix. They'll provide you the complete information regarding this. Thank you. Okay, as a part of the demo session, I'm going to give some information regarding the .NET Framework. So .NET Framework, .NET Framework, as I said that first when they have introduced the .NET Framework, it is going to work for the Windows operating system. So now they have made this one open source. So what we are going to have inside is .NET Framework. .NET Framework is going to be a set of specifications for us. Okay. So inside that we are going to have the two parts. One is the CLI and another one is the CLR. CLI stands for Common Language Infrastructure, where CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. In CLI, we are going to have the set of specifications where language creators and the language developers they can use those kind of specifications and they can create a new language in the .NET framework. So at present stage, .NET Framework supports around some 40 plus different languages. If you know any one of the language, you can start working in the .NET. So how it is going to happen? So it is going to happen with the help of the CLI. Inside the CLI, you are going to have the two things. One is the CLS and another one is the CTS. CLS stands for Common Language Specification, where CTS stands for Common Type System. Common language specification is nothing but you are going to have a different condition statements. Like if you are taking an if condition in a C sharp, what you are going to write if bracket some condition and you are going to close the bracket, and after that you are going to open the curly braces and close the curly braces. If you take the same thing in the VB.NET, it is not going to be the same. You are going to write if condition, then begin, write some statements, after that end. So this is how the if condition is going to be in the C sharp, but in the VB.NET. This VB.NET syntax is different and the C sharp syntax is different. So whenever you compile these two things together, what they are going to do then, they are going to convert it in a single language called MSAL language. The conversion of different set of syntaxes into a single set of syntax is going to be taken by the common language specifications. Next one is the common type system. Common type system is nothing but if you take variables in the C sharp, if you specify int I equal to 10, so where I value is going to be of a 32 bit of memory is going to get stored. In the same manner, whenever you define in the baby.net, you are going to define it as an integer. So whenever you define that one as an integer, it is going to take the 32 bit of memory. So in C sharp, it is an int, and in VB.NET, it is an integer. Whenever you compile this your application, these two are going to convert into a single data type like int 32, and that is going to be used in the Microsoft Intermediate language. Like this, the different set of data types which you're going to provide in a different language, whenever you compile that one, they are going to be stored into a single data type. So that one is going to be taken care with the common type system. The next one which we are going to discuss is the CLR. CLR is an heart of .NET framework. Without CLR, the .NET framework is nothing. So everything is going to be managed in the CLR itself. Without having anything, any features in the CLR, nothing is going to work in the .NET framework. CLR contains a different um, topics like a code manager, class loader, just-in-time compiler, garbage collector, exception manager, thread support, type checker, security engine, debug engine, and the one is a COM marshaller. So these are the different features we are going to have on the CLR. So these are the features which based upon these features, you can develop your application, you can compile your application, you can debug your application, you can provide the security, you can provide the threat support, you can provide the exception manager, you can have the garbage collector, and you can compile your application. All these things you can do with the help of the CLR. So if one of the features is not working with CLR, your application is not going to work here. So make sure. So .NET CLR is in the heart of .NET framework. Apart from this CLR, in .NET framework, we are going to have the different things like common base class libraries and framework based class libraries. Common base class libraries are going to be with the system, and the framework based class libraries are going to start from the Microsoft. So whenever you see the different DLLs which are present in the .NET framework, so you can see all the .NET framework has been written with the system only. System is the main class, and from there everything has been inherited. System.web, system.windows, system.io, system.text, like this different DLLs has been inherited from the system only. So the system is a main base class, and the other things are going to be your derived classes. So that's why we are going to call it a common base class library. Next one is the framework-based class libraries. Framework-based class libraries which are going to be started from the Microsoft. Microsoft.outlook, Microsoft.excel. These are some of examples. Like whenever you want to read some Excel file or anything, you are going to take the Microsoft.excel, Microsoft.interop.excel. And if you want to work with Outlook, Microsoft.interop.outlook. In the same manner, Word, PPT, for those things, you are going to use this Microsoft base class libraries. So this is an introduction which gives about the .NET framework. So in this .NET framework, whenever you combine the combination of your CLR and common base class libraries, then the .NET framework is going to be a single part. So with the common base class libraries, there is nothing you can do in the .NET framework. So everything is going to work with the common base class libraries only. The entire logic and whatever the Microsoft has been invested, everything, whatever is there, everything you are going to have in this common base class libraries only. So that's why these common base class libraries are not going to work on another operating system like Linux and Mac OS. That's why our .NET framework is not going to work on the different other operating systems. So now, as they have made this one as an open source, now you can develop your applications in Linux, and you can develop in the Mac OS also. So the whatever you have developed in Linux and Mac OS, they can be executed on the Windows operating system, or whatever it has been developed on the Windows operating system can be executed on the Linux operating system. The dependency of the operating systems has been removed, uh, making these base class libraries are compatible for the different frameworks, different operating systems. Thank you.